Hello, my friends. How are you doing today? I hope you are doing well. Okay, today let's have a conversation about business versus government. And there are some, I would say, misconceptions about the two. Not so much what they are, but how they function. Um, if you've seen any of my other videos, businesses are all driven by the profit motive. That is, when they open the doors every day, their goal is to make a profit, make the highest profit they can, and to survive and grow and make greater profits. And that's good. It causes that profit incentives causes businesses to produce a lot of services and products that we buy. And for the most part, uh, we have a lot of choices in the marketplace. We can generally find high quality items and services because of that profit motive um, with companies, whether they're a sole proprietorship or a private company, uh, versus government. Government's motivation is to provide services for their constituents, for their voters, for their citizens. And so they don't have the profit motive. They want to deliver good services in terms of streets and roads, fire department, police department, regulations to keep your water safe, air clean, um, so on and so forth. Schools, quality schools. Uh, this is what a government strives to do to keep their constituents happy, and the executives in the government, uh, a, a mayor, a governor, a senator, a congressperson, a president, they are concerned about their poll numbers and making sure that their constituents, their voters, are happy with the services, and they're managing their government, which provides, you know, the military in emergencies. You have FEMA, which goes out and helps when there's disasters around the country. This is what the government is judged on. And so it has a totally different motive than a company, a commercial company. And the reason why I made this a subject today is because a lot of people think that the private sector, companies, are more efficient and better operating than a government entity. I believe that that's false, uh, partly because of the two different motives in terms of how they operate. And secondly, there are many people that go from government to the private sector and back all the time. They're the same people. Good people are good people no matter where they are. Um, and I think the only difference, perhaps, you would say with government is your competitor is maybe competing political parties that want to get back into power, and of course they're going to keep an eye and criticize when they think the government is not managed the way they think it should be managed. But and of course, in the private sector, the competition is another person who's making the same product or delivering the same service, and them trying to compete to get their customers' business in a competitive environment. But they are totally different animals. For example, the government can't go out of business. The government cannot say no when a disaster happens. Um, and that's part of the thing, like with a business, they can say no. They can go out of business. They can file bankruptcy and go out of business. They can fail. And their place would be taken, someone would take their place in the marketplace. A government cannot fail. They have to continue on uh, to deliver services, whether it's a depression, recession, in good times or bad. A government must go on and deliver services for its constituents, its citizens. So I wanted to clear out that distinction. And whenever you hear someone say that the government should run like a business, You don't want your government running like a business. A business can choose not to deliver services if they feel they can't afford them, or they can file bankruptcy, or they can go out of business. Um, um, the government cannot do that. They have to stand and deliver services no matter what. Uh, all right. Well, I hope you understood my distinction between the type of entities, public sector versus private sector, and their motivations, and why they operate function, or they function differently, and why their motives for their actions are different, and why their reasons for being are different, and how one can go out of business and not by not delivering services or file bankruptcy, while the other cannot. Um, and it has to go on. It has to deliver services. It has to take care of its constituents. Well, if you have any questions or want to leave any comments, please do so. Otherwise, I wish you well, and I hope you have good services, and that no matter which entity you deal with, public or private. And I wish you only the best. Goodbye for now. Take care.